What if the smallest bullet on the shelf was also one of the deadliest you could buy? For years, the .22 long rifle has been dismissed as weak, around for beginners or backyard plinking. But in 2025, certain .22 long rifle loads have pushed the limits, becoming faster, heavier, and far more destructive than anyone expects. This is a countdown of the most dangerous .22 long rifle rounds you can buy in 2025. And the one at the very top may completely change the way you think about rimfire. Number 12, Remington Thunderbolt 40-grain round nose. For decades, Thunderbolt was the butt of rimfire jokes, known more for dirty powder and dud primers than performance. But in recent years, Remington has quietly tightened up quality control, and the result is a round that's no longer a throwaway plinker. The Thunderbolt's 40-grain lead round nose hits around 1,255 feet per second from a rifle, and while it isn't flashy, the sheer mass and straight-line penetration make it far more dangerous than most shooters realize. What sets it apart is consistency. Older batches were unreliable, but the modern Thunderbolt cycles smoothly in semi-automatics and produces fewer ignition failures than its reputation suggests. In shell testing, it often punches past 12 inches, a depth that actually puts it in the same league as some low-end defensive calibers. Add in the fact that it comes in massive bulk packs, and you've got a round that delivers sustained fire with real impact. The danger factor here is volume combined with penetration. One or two hits might not impress, but multiple Thunderbolts landing in the same spot tell a very different story. At about $3 to $5 per 50 when bought in bulk cartons, it remains one of the cheapest ways to load up on serious rimfire firepower. And yet, penetration alone is nothing compared to the next round, one that doesn't just go deep, but tears apart on contact. Number 11, CCI Quiet Segmented 40-grain hollow point. Don't let the word quiet fool you. This one is one of the most deceptive .22 long rifle rounds you can buy. At just 710 feet per second, the CCI Quiet Segmented HP stays subsonic, eliminating the sharp crack that normally comes with rimfire ammo. Fired through a suppressor is whisper-level silent. But silent doesn't mean safety. The bullet design makes sure of that. The 40-grain lead projectile is engineered to break into 3 distinct fragments on impact, each fragment cutting its own path through tissue. Instead of relying on speed for trauma, this round creates multiple wound channels in one hit, multiplying its effectiveness at close range. In testing, those fragments spread within the first few inches of penetration, shredding soft targets far more aggressively than a standard hollow point. The beauty of the quiet segmented is control. It minimizes recoil, noise, and over-penetration risk, making it ideal for discreet defense or pest control in areas where over-travel could be dangerous. It also cycles reliably in bolt actions and mini semi-autos, something most quiet rounds struggle with. Priced at $9 to $11 per box of 50, it's affordable for both practice and serious use. What makes it dangerous is that it hides its lethality behind silence. You hear almost nothing, but the damage is immediate. And while this round fragments on purpose, the next one shows its danger by holding together and driving much deeper than you'd ever expect from a .22. Number 10, Browning BPR 40-grain copper-plated hollow point. Browning doesn't usually dominate the rimfire conversation, but their BPR 40-grain CPHP has quietly built a reputation for being tougher than most people expect. Unlike lighter, faster hollow points, the BPR keeps its full 40-grain weight while still reaching around 1,280 feet per second from a rifle barrel. That extra mass gives it better momentum, and when paired with Browning's deep, hollow cavity design, you get consistent mushrooming even at modest pistol velocities. Where this round shines is its ability to blend expansion and penetration. In ballistic gel, the BPR often reaches 10 to 12 inches while expanding wide enough to mimic the wound channel of smaller centerfire loads. The copper plating also plays a role, reducing barrel fouling and ensuring smoother feeding in semi-automatics, which is especially important for pistols that tend to choke on soft lead rounds. Reliability is another strong point. Browning uses high-quality primers and clean burning powder, making misfires rare. This means you can load the BPR for defense and actually trust it to go bang when needed, something not every bulk hollow point can claim. At about $10 to $12 for a 100-round box, it's also cost-effective, giving shooters both performance and value. The real danger here is balance. It doesn't lean too far into velocity or weight. It sits perfectly in between, and that makes it versatile in nearly any firearm. But while the BPR finds its power in balance, the next round takes the opposite approach by cranking up speed to a level that looks almost unnatural in a rimfire. Number 9, RWS HV 40 grain hollow point. RWS might not be a household name in the U.S., but European shooters know it well for producing some of the most precise rimfire ammunition available. The RWS HV 40 grain hollow point is a standout because it combines German engineering consistency with surprising terminal performance. Out of a rifle, this load clocks around 1,250 to 1,300 feet per second, keeping a heavy 40-grain bullet stable and accurate even past 50 yards. What makes it dangerous is the way it behaves on impact. The hollow cavity is deeper than most standard .22 designs, ensuring reliable mushrooming at various ranges. In gel, it penetrates a respectable 10 to 12 inches, opening up into a uniform shape that maximizes tissue disruption. Unlike lighter, high-velocity rounds that sometimes fragment too early, the RWS-HV maintains its mass while still expanding, creating a wider wound channel without sacrificing depth. Reliability is another hallmark. RWS loads are known for extremely consistent powder charges and ignition, which means fewer velocity swings shot to shot. That kind of quality matters in real-world defense scenarios where every round needs to perform exactly as expected. While slightly pricier than American bulk ammo, running about $12 to $15 for a box of 50. The payoff is accuracy and power rolled into one. Where the Stinger dominates is shock value. Small bullet, massive speed, sudden destruction. But as fast as it is, it's still a lightweight load. The next round proves you don't need to go light to be lethal, because when you push a full 40 grains close to rimfire speed ceiling, the results are just as devastating. Number 8, Aguila Interceptor 40 grain copper-plated solid. Aguila may not carry the same household name as Winchester or CCI, but the Interceptor has carved out a serious place in the rimfire market. This round is all about pushing the limits of what a 40-grain bullet can do. Instead of shaving weight for speed, Aguila kept the bullet heavy and still drove it up around 1,470 feet per second from a rifle. That combination of mass and velocity makes it one of the hardest-hitting standard .22 long rifle loads available. Because it uses a copper-plated solid nose instead of a hollow point, the Interceptor doesn't rely on expansion to cause damage. Instead, it pushes deep with straight-line penetration, often clearing 14 inches in ballistic gel. That kind of performance gives it real-world use beyond plinking. It's a load capable of punching through barriers like light wood or heavy clothing without losing stability. Feed reliability is another selling point. The solid nose design and clean burning powder cycle smoothly in semi-automatics that normally choke on lower-powered loads. Hunters love it for small to medium game, but it also makes sense as a defensive choice when you want dependable penetration over fragmentation. Priced around $7 to $9 for a 50-round box, it delivers premium performance without the premium markup. If the Interceptor proves that heavy bullets can fly fast, the next round shows how precision engineering, not brute force, can make a .22 long rifle far more lethal than most people would ever imagine. Number 7, Winchester M22 40-grain black copper-plated round nose. The Winchester M22 was designed specifically for modern semi-automatic rimfire rifles, not casual plinking. This load uses a 40-grain black copper-plated round nose bullet that reduces barrel fouling and ensures smoother feeding, making it ideal for AR-style platforms and high-capacity magazines. Out of a rifle, it averages around 1,255 feet per second, striking a dependable balance between cycling reliability and effective energy. What separates the M22 is its ability to sustain volume fire. Many bulk .22 long rifle loads cause jams in semi-autos, but the M22's cleaner powder and copper plating allow shooters to run hundreds of rounds without stoppages. That makes it a practical choice for defensive drills, training, or scenarios where high round counts matter more than expansion. In gel testing, the M22 consistently penetrates beyond 12 inches. It doesn't fragment or mushroom, but its 40-grain mass delivers predictable, repeatable results with every shot. At about $40 for a 500-round brick, it offers affordable bulk ammunition that combines reliability, penetration, and consistency for semi-auto platforms. Number 6, CCI Stinger 32-grain hollow point. The CCI Stinger has held its place as one of the fastest .22 long rifle rounds for decades, and in 2025 it still sets the standard for velocity. It fires a 32-grain copper-plated hollow point that can reach up to 1,640 feet per second from a rifle, making it one of the quickest rimfire loads on the market. That extreme speed translates into rapid energy transfer at close range, giving it far more stopping effect than most shooters expect from such a small bullet. The hollow point cavity is cut deep to ensure rapid expansion on impact. In practice, the bullet tends to mushroom violently, creating wound channels that are wider than most other lightweight .22 projectiles. Hunters value its effect on small game, and the same qualities carry over to defensive use. Reliability is another advantage. Nickel-plated cases resist corrosion, feed smoothly, and reduce misfires. Even in pistols known to be picky, Stingers run cleanly. At around $9 to $11 per 50-round box, they cost more than bulk ammo, but their speed, consistency, and proven track record keep them among the most trusted high-velocity rimfire loads available. Number 5, Norma TAC 22 40-grain lead round nose. Norma has a long reputation in Europe for quality ammunition, and the TAC 22 brings that standard to the rimfire market. At first glance, it looks like a standard 40-grain lead round nose, but it's built with far tighter tolerances than bulk-pack plinking ammo. Out of a rifle, it runs around 1,070 feet per second, staying subsonic for smooth, quiet performance, especially with suppressed firearms. The standout trait of the TAC 22 is consistency. Every cartridge is loaded with precise powder charges and uniform seating depth, giving it accuracy that rivals match-grade ammunition. In ballistic gel, it penetrates 11 to 13 inches on average, with stable flight characteristics that translate into predictable performance across rifles and pistols alike. This round isn't designed to expand, but that's not its role. Its strength lies in control, low recoil, minimal muzzle blast, and reduced risk of over-penetration. Priced between $6 and $8 per box of 50, it's both affordable and dependable. For shooters who value accuracy and reliability, the TAC 22 is a standout choice. Number 4, Eley Force 42-grain high velocity. Eley is known worldwide for match-grade rimfire, but the Force series takes that precision and adds serious speed. This 42-grain bullet is heavier than most .22 long rifle loads, yet still reaches around 1,250 feet per second from a rifle. That balance of weight and velocity gives it momentum that lighter rounds simply can't match, making it far more than a target cartridge. Rather than relying on fragmentation, the Force is built for stability and penetration. In ballistic gel, it frequently pushes 13 to 14 inches while holding its shape. cutting a clean channel with reliable depth. Hunter's favorite for small and medium game, and in defensive use, the same traits mean predictable performance, where other rimfire loads fall short. Quality is where Eley shines. Each round is loaded to tight tolerances, producing consistent ignition, fewer malfunctions, and excellent accuracy even in semi-automatics. It does cost more, usually $12 to $14 per box of 50, but that premium buys consistency, power, and precision in one package. Number 3. Aguila Super Maximum 30 grain. Aguila Super Maximum is built for speed. At 30 grains, the bullet is lighter than standard .22 long rifle projectiles, but that weight reduction allows it to hit an incredible 1,700 feet per second from a rifle. For rimfire shooters, that's near the upper limit, and the effect is dramatic. The velocity translates into powerful energy transfer, making this small bullet behave like something far larger. The design is straightforward. A copper-plated round nose pushed faster than most .22s on the market. What makes it dangerous is the way that speed affects soft targets. Expansion isn't necessary. The sheer force at impact creates significant disruption. Hunters frequently note exit wounds that look far more destructive than you'd expect from such a light round. There are downsides. The report is louder, recoil slightly sharper, and some firearms struggle with the high pressure. Bolt actions and older pistols may have trouble, while stronger semi-autos like the Ruger 1022 or Taurus TX22 handle it with ease. At about $9 to $11 for 50 rounds, the Super Maximum remains affordable and delivers unmatched velocity and impact in the rimfire category. Number 2. CCI Velocitor 40 grain hollow point. The CCI Velocitor has earned its reputation as one of the hardest-hitting .22 long rifle rounds ever made. Unlike lightweight speed rounds that rely solely on velocity, the Velocitor keeps its bullet weight at a full 40 grains, while still reaching impressive speeds of about 1,435 feet per second from a rifle barrel. That combination gives it both penetration and expansion, something rare in rimfire ammunition. The bullet itself is a copper-plated hollow point designed to expand consistently in soft targets. In gel testing, it often reaches 12 to 14 inches of penetration while opening wide enough to create wound channels that rival smaller centerfire cartridges. The dual performance, deep penetration, and reliable expansion makes it a favorite among hunters and a top choice for defensive use. Reliability is another hallmark. CCI's manufacturing standards are some of the best in the rimfire industry, meaning fewer misfires, cleaner burning powder, and smooth cycling, even in picky semi-automatic pistols. The Velocitor doesn't just hit hard, it also runs reliably in firearms people are most likely to use in real-world situations. At around $10 to $12 for a box of 50, but it's not the cheapest option, but it consistently outperforms most of its competitors. For shooters who want maximum power from a rimfire platform, the Velocitor is tough to beat. But even this powerhouse isn't the top of the list because there's one round designed from the ground up for defense, and it completely redefines what the .22 long rifle can do in 2025. Number 1. Federal Punch 29 grain flat nose. Federal Punch was built to prove that the .22 long rifle can be more than a plinking round. The 29 grain flat nose load was designed specifically for short-barreled pistols, tuned to deliver the one thing rimfire lacks: reliable defensive performance. From a compact handgun, velocity averages around 1,070 feet per second. In ballistic gel, it consistently drives 10 to 12 inches, meeting the penetration depth many experts use as a defensive benchmark. The flat nose profile plays a major role, crushing straight through soft targets instead of tumbling, leaving stable and predictable wound channels. Federal also engineered it for trust. Nickel-plated cases resist corrosion and feed smoothly, while the powder charge is balanced to keep semi-automatics cycling cleanly. Shooters report that pistols like the Ruger LCP-2 or Taurus TX22 handle the punch with far fewer misfires than bulk .22 long rifle. At about $9 to $11 per 50-round box, the punch costs more than bulk ammo, but you're paying for performance that was purpose-built for life-and-death scenarios. In 2025, no other .22 long rifle round combines engineering, penetration, and reliability quite like this one. Check out our next video where we reveal the best .22 long rifle self-defense loads you can buy in 2025.